Welcome to the Canyon Challenge. My name is Caleb Augustyn, and I'm the founder of Rumble. It was about 2 years ago, and I remember staying in a small town hotel in Georgia. I remember thinking to myself, I wonder who the local artists are. It was at that moment in time that I realized how confined our scope of music consumption really is. So I want to take a look at the music industry. What is it, and how does it work? Digital streaming accounts for over 75% of all music consumption. And the streaming space is conquered largely by three platforms: SoundCloud, Spotify, and Apple Music. Now, there's two major parties in the music industry. You've got your artists and your listeners. There's approximately 8 million active artists posting music to streaming platforms online, and over 500 million listeners listening to them. But I want to first take a look at the artists. The odds are you all probably know one. 80% of these artists are considered independent, or in other words, they handle their own image, they manage their own releases, and they're fully responsible for making or breaking their careers. The other 20% are signed to a record label. A record label's primary job is to market the artist to ensure their success. Of this 20% is the top 0.1% of all artists, signed to a big three record label. Now, these are your mainstream artists, and the odds are they're probably the artists that you listen to every single day on your digital streaming platform. The artists at the top don't tend to change much, and the reality is they control the space. Now let's transition and take a look at the listeners. According to Forbes, listeners in the US are spending, on average, over 32 hours every week listening to music. Listeners rely on social media and playlists to help them find new music. According to Spotify Insights, listeners are, quote, open to content discovery, relying on personalized curation for new recommendations. Now, I hope you're starting to see some issues arise. Marketing efforts largely determine the music that we listen to, and most artists with genuine raw talent don't have the skills or resources to market themselves properly. As a result of this, the brands and followings of artists have become more important than the quality of music. This is an industry problem. Now, problems arise for artists and listeners as individuals as well. It's very difficult to find new music to listen to, and along with that, it's very difficult for independent artists to scale. Being an artist myself, the scope of support I had was in my local community and the people that I knew. My music was consumed relative to other local artists, not the top 0.1% of the industry. So I had an idea. Let's create different brackets to compete in, kind of like a high school sports team winning their conference and then going to play at regionals and then winning and going to play at nationals. The competition starts at a local level. When an artist releases a song, first it's heard by the city. If it's well received in the city, it moves to the county bracket. If the county likes it, it moves to the state bracket, and so on. It's scale power made possible through competition. And this is the solution. Rumble is a platform centered around competition of content rather than image. And the competition starts at a local level. Artists first compete with their peers and move to bigger playing fields as they see success. This allows any artist with quality music the ability to scale. Without the prestige and the marketing tactics of large record labels in play, Rumble levels the playing field. It's a platform optimized for discovery. Exploring new music has never been easier. And for the cherry on top, it's all 100% free for listeners. So I know what you're probably thinking, this sounds a little ambitious. How does it work? Well, let's take John, for example. John's a country music artist located in Sun City, Arizona. John's been playing guitar for years, and he's recently gotten started making his own music. But his fan base consists primarily of his family and a few of his friends. When John releases a song on Rumble, he's now directly competing with 24 other country music artists in Sun City. With a little bit of traction on his song, John's song rises to #1 on the Sun City rankings, even though he only has 800 plays on his song. Now everyone in Sun City can see John's song, and he gains even more traction, pushing him into the ranks of Maricopa County, where he now competes with 500 other artists. So how do we make money? Well, Rumble has a level system consisting of 20 different levels, and it's aimed to kind of gamify the whole platform. An artist must have a certain amount of fans, streams, and likes to reach the next level. And when an artist initially comes to Rumble, it's completely free. This is to get as many different artists as we can to the platform. But once the artist reaches level 4, which is at about 100 fans, the recurring charges start. As the artist continues to level up, level 4, 6, 8, 10, and so on, these recurring charges increase. This only forces an artist to spend as they see success. But why now? There's more artists now than ever before in history. It's easy to go to the store, grab a $50 microphone, and start recording songs on your computer. Anyone can do it. Digital streaming makes up the majority of the music industry, and it's only growing. And lastly, younger generations embrace music exploration. I believe Rumble is able to meet the needs of the growing pool of listeners unlike any other streaming platform available today. So we're currently looking for seed money to develop a minimum viable product. Right now I'm working with a team of developers out in India on a user interface and a game plan for tackling the MVP. We do have a landing page set up at rumble.fm if you'd like to create an account or check out more about the concept. Rumble is going to redefine the way we consume music. It's a new, discovery-focused way to listen that's opening up ways for the people around us to be heard. Thank you.